The first was 29-year-old Jensen Huang, a Taiwanese-American engineer and former microprocessor designer at AMD, who was then the hardware manager at LSI Logic. He was having dinner with two friends at a restaurant where he had worked as a teenager. His companions were Priem, a former chief engineer at IBM and designer of graphics chips for Sun Microsystems, and Chris Malachowsky, an electrical engineer from Sun Microsystems. Priem and Malachowsky had recently become disillusioned with the management and technology development direction at their company and intended to leave. However, Huang held a more stable position, leading a special division at LSI. Yet, the collective vision they discussed was so compelling that Huang decided to leave his secure job and take on the role of CEO at their new startup. Nvidia was founded with $40,000 in funding, but initially had no official name. The founders signed all files and documents with NV, short for next version. When the time came to register the company officially, the three engineers sought a name containing the letters V and N. Malachowsky and Priem initially agreed on the name Envisioned, but later found it was already taken by a toilet paper manufacturer. Huang suggested the name Nvidia, referring to the Latin word invidia, meaning envy. Nvidia's first office was located in Sunnyvale, California. Jeff Fisher, the company's first salesperson and later an executive vice president, recalls the early days. We worked in a very small office and had lunch around a ping pong table. Our parking lot was shared with the local Wells Fargo Bank. Nvidia's first product was a multimedia card for personal computers, released in 1995 under the name NV1, just as 3D gaming was gaining widespread attention. The chip did not sell well, but the founders improved its technology over 4 more versions, achieving greater sales and transactions compared to competitors like 3DFX, ATI, and S3 with each release. Sega was the first major company to sign a contract with Nvidia, embedding its chips in the Saturn console. The NV1 could process both 2D and 3D graphics as well as sound. However, that same year, Microsoft introduced DirectX and ceased supporting other graphics software platforms. At this time, Sega's chairman personally approached Huang to inform him that, contrary to their previous agreement, they would be working with another company for the Dreamcast console chip. Nvidia found itself in a dire financial situation, and in 1996, it was forced to lay off half of its employees, dedicating remaining resources to develop an optimized GPU product. These were tough days, with Huang telling his team they only had 30 days left to keep the company open. However, Sega's chairman still believed in Huang and managed to convince his company to invest $5 million in Nvidia. Years later, Huang explained in interviews that this investment was all Nvidia had, and the Sega chairman's foresight and generosity gave them a 6-month lifeline to keep the company alive. Nvidia went public in January 1999, with shares priced at $12 each. On June 18, 2023, Nvidia briefly became the most valuable public company in the U.S., surpassing giants like Microsoft and Apple. The rapid rise in Nvidia's stock, fueled by the boom in generative AI and surging demand for its chips, marked one of the fastest upward trajectories in market history. This top position lasted for 3 days before Nvidia settled as the second most valuable company. 2 years prior, Nvidia's market cap was just over $400 billion, yet within a year, it soared from $1 trillion to over $3 trillion.